seemed like rain out the door. Common sense you can't find no more. And I guess we're gonna need somebody.
Hey people, how you doing? This is Robert Jeter. You're on the Robert Jeter Show. This is news and the blues. I play a little blues and I give you a little news. How about that? So today I'm recording from my mobile phone. There's so much you can do today just on the phone, you know. You can conquer the world with your cell phone. But anyway, I'm in a hotel in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I was in New York earlier today, but I'm sort of moving out of New York. At least I'm making a move back down south. It might not be a permanent move, because I don't think anything is permanent today. I think everything's in flux. But I'm definitely going back down south for a while. I got a house in Atlanta, so I got to take care of that. And my wife is still working in New York. I'll go back for Passover, which is the Jewish holiday, next Jewish holiday coming up. And we'll see what my future looks like after Passover, after I pass over. You know that story, right? You know how the Jews got out of Egypt, you know, and the Nile parted after the 10 plagues. Pharaoh was a stubborn guy, you know. He wouldn't let the people go. A little bit like the government we got right now. They're stubborn. And no matter what happens, they hold on to that belief and their gods. I mean, Pharaoh had a lot of gods, and our government has a lot of gods. Their gods are the climate change god, the woke god, I don't know, the CRT god, the commie god, the Marxist god. They got a lot of gods. They don't believe in the one god. They believe in all these other gods, you know, and they think they can control the world and tell us peons what to do, but we know better, right? But anyway, I just thought I had to get on the my podcast since there's a lot going on in the world, you know what I mean? And it's sort of interesting to give a podcast while you're on the road. On the road again, just can't wait to get on the road again. How about this thing with Trump? You think Bragg in New York is really going to arrest him for the Stormy Daniels payoff? I mean, some lawyer came up on TV on Fox, and he said, in the legal slang, it's called, when you bring a case like this, it's called chicken shit. Because it has no, you know, it has nothing to support it. It's all BS, and it's all political. And we know it's all political. Come on, even the liberals know it's all political. I ain't going into the details because, you know, it's just all made up. I mean, they've been after this guy for 8 years, you know? And so they're not going to give up, and especially right now where you see the country itself is blowing up and they know the tide is turning against them and is going back toward Trump, the conservative side, and they can't stand it. So they're desperate and they're pulling at straws. So Trump will survive it. Whether he becomes the next president, I don't know. I'll vote for him. I thought he did a damn good job last time. Went for COVID, he'd be in high cotton. But of course, COVID came along, but still, you know. But I mean, hey, no man in history, no president, no leader, American leader in history has been prosecuted, spit at, made fun of so much, et cetera, so much as Donald Trump. It's just crazy. It's totally crazy, insane the world we live in. So I hope everybody's safe where you are. Whoever's listening to this, I hope you feel secure where you are. Because the world is not very secure. But you can find peace, you know, if you're in a good environment. So my advice is wherever you are, whatever situation, try to chill. Try to find a good, secure place to be. I mean, it could be psychological, it could be where you live, it could be where you work, whatever. Just find a good foundation to say psychologically well. You have to be strong. Not only have to be strong physically, you have to be strong mentally and intellectually. Because there's so much fake news out there, it's hard to know what is the truth. But there is good and there is bad. And we have to believe that America is still a great country, even though it's gone down this road toward Marxism. It's unbelievable. Nobody would have dreamt this even 5 years ago. But things are changing quickly. And, I mean, you have to go to hell before you get to heaven, they say. So I guess we have to go to hell first before we, get to heaven. But anyway, I'm on the way to Georgia. On the road to Georgia. And I got to take care of the house there. We'll see what happens when I get there. I'm having some work done. But in the meantime, the world is going crazy. And then we got this situation with the banks. I mean, the SVB Bank, that's Silicon Valley Bank, was a woke bank. I heard someone say it was like an ATM bank for the Democrats. They had all this money that Biden gave them to, create their woke dreams, their wet dreams. Because, it's just money wasted. A lot of these projects are just total waste of money because they don't really pan out. I'm not totally not that I'm totally against, trying to find clean energy, but there's a process. You know what I mean? You don't force it down people's throats. A lot of technology they have now doesn't really work that well. I mean, you had the windmills, right, and killing the whales. You've heard that story where all the whales are dying because of the windmills. And, I mean, there's something to say about solar energy. I mean, I even hear Musk say that, solar energy could cheaply power the world if you put there's a lot of solar panels out in the middle of the desert somewhere. I don't know. I mean, there's something to it, maybe. But the way the government is doing it, anything that the government gets involved in is, it's going to be totally incompetent. So even if the government had a good idea, once they get into it, it becomes a bureaucracy. It becomes, a bureaucratic nightmare. So that's where we are. I mean, that's one reason why I'm leaving New York, because it's a bureaucratic nightmare. The taxes are high. The crime is high. Governor Hochul, what's her name? Yeah, the governor of New York. She's crazy. She keeps on doing these woke policies. It keeps on making everything worse. So the crime goes up. I think she just wants to get as many illegal immigrants in New York as possible, and they'll all vote for her. But they don't have an ID. They don't need an ID. They get driver's license. They get set up free in their apartments, in fancy hotels or apartments. I mean, New York has been taken over by immigrants, and people who actually work there hard have to pay a lot of money for their apartments. It's unbelievable what you pay for an apartment in a halfway decent section of Manhattan. And these people get a free ride, and half of them are criminals, and they bring in fentanyl, the drugs, and everything else. It's absurd. I don't know how we got so absurd. It's really an upside down world, and maybe it's the end of days, as some religions would say. The Messiah is on the way, the Mashiach, as you would say, if you're Jewish like me. But I mean, God has His plan, right? God has His plan. Anyway, this is Robert Jeter. You're on the Robert Jeter Show, Blues in the News, and I'm not going to stay on too much longer because I'm in bed. I'm on the road in Fredericksburg tomorrow I'll make it all the way back to Atlanta. I could do it in one shot. You know, it's about a 13-hour drive. Everybody wondering if you want to drive from New York City to Atlanta, Georgia. It's about a 13, 14-hour drive, which can be done in one time. But, you know, why knock yourself out unless you're in a rush? I'm not really in a rush. Even though I got stuff I got to do, it's still, you know, I'm going to put on some tunes, put it on cruise control, and just chill and not get too excited. But there's enough excitement out there. It'd be interesting to see what the market does tomorrow, huh? With all this bank news. Anyway, with that, I'll play a little bit more Too Much News. I've been playing this song a lot. This is one I just released. I got to release some more tunes. I got to get back into the music. I was even scared to go out and play in the bars. You know, like, I don't have an agent. I should get an agent. Any agents out there? I want a good entertainer. But, you know, so I was even scared to go some to the bars because, you know, you go out at night with your guitar, you're probably get mugged. And you'd steal your guitar and hit you over the head with the guitar. You know, it's crazy, baby. It's crazy. Anyway, a little bit more on Too Much News. This is Robert Jeter, Blues in the News, and I'll see you next time.
Well, I've been watching too much news. Whole damn world has got the blues. Seems like reason out the door. Common sense you can't find no more. And I guess we're gonna need somebody with a master plan. Guess we're gonna need somebody take us to the promised land. I know well we all need change, but it's your mind you must rearrange. Too much greed, there's too